Now that I have completed the installation of GNS3 VM and GNS3 application and the integration between them is also working, it's time to start with the practicals about networking and connecting different devices together. In this lesson, I'm going to start with the very basics. I'm going to use two virtual PCs in the GNS3 setup, connect them and turn them on, and then show how to configure IP address and subnet mask on them, and finally show the use of a command that is used for checking the connectivity between devices, and that is a ping command. So without further ado, let me start and launch the GNS3. I will create a project. Let me say project first or basic 1 is what I'll call it. Just say OK, and I'll wait for it to bring up the GNS3 VM also. So there it is launching by itself. Okay, here let us say basic 1, 2, doesn't matter, and as you can see the desktop part is already up. The GNS3 VM is starting. This is the status, what it is showing. Here on the right side we can see indeed the GNS3 VM is booting up. I'm going to pause here and resume once this shows us green. It probably takes about 30 to 40 seconds, but once it is done, then I will resume. The LED on the GNS3 VM here shows this green. That means it is up and running. I will minimize this VMware Workstation Pro window and maximize this. So on the right side, we can see desktop and the GNS3 VM both as green. Great. Next, from this section, I will go and click on this tab, and from here, I will pull out a VPCS. This is basically a simulated or a virtual PC. Okay, and I will select the GNS3 VM option here and say OK. I will pull another one from here and do the same thing, run it on VM and say OK. In its current state, on the top right you can see both of them are red. That is, they are not turned on yet. Okay. So the way we can turn them on is one by one, or both of them can be turned on using a single button. So the way to turn them off one by one is go to the icon, right click on it, and then press the start button. Right, I am not doing that, and similarly I could do the same from here. I am not doing that, but that is how it is to be done. The way to start both of them together is on the top right, on the top left, here you see the green arrow icon. You see start resume all nodes. This is what I am going to click and start. Are you sure you want to start all devices? I will say yes. And as soon as I do that, the LEDs or the icons next to the PC1 and PC2 show as green. Next, I would try to connect them with a virtual cable. And here for that, I am going to click on this. And then you see my mouse converts into a plus symbol. And then when I go and click on the first PC, that is PC1, it shows me the interface, that is Ethernet 0. I click on that and then drag the wire like this, my mouse, onto the PC2 and click on it again and select the interface. And once done, this is the connection is complete. And now if I have to release this plus sign, I'll go back and click on this icon again here, and that's it. So the connection between these two PC1 and PC2 are done. If I have to remove the connection, I can simply select it and click the delete button. Okay. Alright, again make the connection like this, and the connection is made. Okay. If I click on this icon or this particular notation, it will start showing me the interface acronyms. This is ETH0 and ETH0 on both of them. Ethernet 0, Ethernet 0, ETH0. So hide, click it again. If you want to see, it will turn it on like this. It is a simple topology, point-to-point topology between connecting two PCs, PC1 and PC2. So it's up to you if you want to see it, but it helps definitely when we have a much more broader and big topology where we want multiple interfaces to be clearly called out. So this is done. Next, to configure the PCs or give them the IP address, we need to log into their console or log into them. And for doing that, just like we started, there's an option of right clicking and clicking the console button. And this is an individual way of doing it. I'm not doing it. Here I am going to click on this icon where there's a front arrow as well as an underscore. So if I click on that, it will launch the putty for that. As you can see, PC1 and PC2. It gives first tab for PC1 and PC2. It is giving the command line interface or the console. Okay. So both PC1 and PC2 can be seen here. Let me just shrink this so that we have both the sides here. I'm going to close this and move it like this so that we have both of these seen at the same time. Now, first I'll configure the PC1. The command to configure an IP address on the virtual PC is simply IP followed by IP address, which is I'm going to give it 192.168.10.1 followed by the subnet mask, which is 255.255.255.0. Done. Okay. Now, if I have to verify what is the IP address that has been given, I'll issue the command show IP. And it gives us the IP and mask here. That is what we want to focus on, this part. Okay. Similarly, I'm going to go to the PC2, give it an IP address, IP 192.168.10.2 followed by subnet mask. This. And then when I do show IP, it will show me the IP address and the subnet mask configured for it. Okay. Now that we have assigned the IP address on both PC1 and PC2 here, basically the virtual PCs, it is time for us to check the connectivity between them better so you can communicate with them. And for that, we have a command which we call as ping. So we issue the command ping, and since we are on PC1, we want to check the connectivity to PC2. So we are going to give PC2 the IP address here, 92.168.10.2 and hit enter. So what it does, whenever we give the command like this, it basically sends 5 packets in sequence. First packet, second packet, third packet, fourth packet and fifth packet. And when it receives a response for that, that's where we see this 84 bytes from 192.168.10.2. Okay. Now these are the parts ICMP, TTL and all that is something that I'll cover in the upcoming lessons. But for now, just focus on that when we are doing a ping, by default it is sending out 5 packets. And if we are getting a response like this, that means the connectivity is good. Okay. So I did a ping from PC1 to PC2. We could do the same thing from PC2 to PC1. I'll give the command ping 192.168.10.1. Okay, hit enter. Okay, so the connectivity from PC1 to PC2 and PC2 to PC1 both is working. Okay, now just to demonstrate, what I'll do is I'll disconnect the cable here in between them. Okay, so the connectivity, the virtual cable that was connecting the two virtual PCs is no longer there. And now I'm back on PC1. I'll again try to ping the PC2 and see what do we get. See, it is showing ICMP, it is sending, but it is getting timed out. So here is the example, right? It is sequence number. First packet timed out, second packet timed out, third timed out, fourth timed out, and fifth timed out. Whereas in the previous case, the first, right, 84 bytes from this or in response to sequence number 1 was, and sequence number 2 and so on was received. So this is again to showcase the utility of the ping command. Ping command is used for checking the connectivity. Let me restore the connection here. The connection I have restored, and let me ping it again from PC1 to PC2. And as you can see, now again the connectivity is showing as alive or working perfectly. So in this lesson, we can conclude that we learned couple of things. First of all, how to launch the GNS3 VM we had covered in the previous lesson, but now we learned how to bring up the two PCs, how to turn them on, how to log into them using console connection, how to make a connection between them, how to delete a connection between them, and finally we learned the use of the ping command that is used for checking the connectivity between two devices. Okay, we'll close the lesson here and resume with another section in the next lesson.